Learn to say no to demands, requests, invitations, and activities that leave you with no time for yourself, as it always overloads you with stress. If you want to conquer the anxiety of life, live in the moment. Heartiest greetings to one and all present here. Today, I, Shika Seth, from Maestro Teaching Solutions, wholeheartedly welcome you all. First of all, we would like to introduce ourselves as an educational service provider that is managed by a panel of experienced and eminent educationalists with cumulative experience of more than 10 decades. We cater to the individual needs of schools, teachers, students, and parents by providing the best of job opportunities for them. We also conduct webinars and workshops for the students, teachers, and parents to enhance their learning experiences. We request you to stay connected with us till the end of the session, as a feedback form will be shared with you at the end. You're requested to fill out the form to mark your attendance. Certificate of participation will be issued based on that. So stay with us for an insightful session. Now, I would like to welcome our resource person for the day, Ms. Sumedha Sahani. Ma'am, it's a matter of great pleasure and honor to have you among us. Ma'am is a pioneer psychologist and counselor known for her positive aura, professional approach, and commitment to prime goal case confidentiality. After doing her post-graduation in psychology, Ma'am has done MPhil in psychology, along with a specialized diploma in clinical psychology with extensive research and case illustrations. Ma'am has proved her excellence in hands-on experience in dealing with various cases from academic poor skills to marital discord. She has worked as an associate with Dr. Bhavna Barme at a Scots Heart Institute and handles stress clinic under her insightful reviews. Ma'am has experience of more than 14 years in conducting individual as well as group sessions for schools as well as organizations from corporate sector. She has expertise in taking counseling sessions, webinars, and workshops on various topics of everyday concern. Ma'am, on behalf of Maestro Teaching Solutions, I wholeheartedly welcome you. I request you to take over the session.
Thank you, dear Rishika, for the wonderful opportunity, El Maestro team, and everyone I thank. And I'm pleased to be here today with you all. Good evening, everyone. As you know, I'm Sumedha Sahani, a psychologist by profession. And today we are meeting with a purpose that how my life can take few turns positively from now onwards so that I can be more positive, more enthusiastic, and more resourceful in times to come. So to begin with this session, before I start presenting something and discussing upon it, I would discuss one important thing, that life, which is a journey, which we all are in, being human, we face certain difficulties every day. And if I talk about the recent scenario, you must have hit the road today in the morning where you were stressed, could be last night, could be 5 minutes before joining the session. हम सबके साथ होता है. हम being humans, we get into these situations every day. So before I begin with my presentation, एक बात जो मैं कहना चाहूंगी और पूछना चाहूंगी, that I would request you to write in your chat box that when you hit that road or the term stress, what comes to your mind? What is that one spontaneous feeling जो हमें stress में होते ही feel होती है, और जो मेरे thought process में or anyways which comes to my mind? Please write in the chat box so that I'll be in touch with you and I would understand what my audience is thinking about it. So I'm waiting for more and more responses. Life is over. Burden. Really good responses. I'm so glad. Just want to escape. And I'm looking for that escape key. Very good. Lovely responses. It could be a minute before joining the session. It could be in the morning. It could be last night. It could be a couple of hours back. It could be that I'm still at the back of my mind. I'm feeling that post the session jaldi se khatam ho jaye and I have piled up things to, do and complete. Crying and cut off from everything, very good. We do feel that crying spells wala symptom most often. I start living in past, good, and very, you are able to identify the reasons behind it or interconnected issues with the term stress. Any more responses? Stuck to negative thought, well expressed, pressure, fear. I'm glad to have it. We get stuck.
Kanchan Rawat ma'am feels she's stuck to the negative thoughts.
Yeah, I've read that.
Kritika Kohli ma'am, she feels pressure and fear. V. Natsu sir, he says, I start living in past. Tarangji felt chained. Priya Arora says, crying and cut off from everything. Ishwinder Kaur ji कहती है कि just want to escape. So they have their own concerns. Like they all feel different.
I think we are through with the responses, or should I wait for a minute to have more responses? Dear all, please come up. And it's been 15 years. I have been practicing. I have been dealing with a number of individual personalities, multiple factorial stories and, picture. But to tell you the truth, mostly the reason behind every problem is lack of expression. We don't express. We don't express by the time. We don't ventilate. We don't come up with the thought which is troubling me. So please, looking forward to your responses. Just one more minute, I would wait. If I can have more responses, I want each one of you to express. If I'm not able to express, how would I deal with it? Please, looking forward to it. Okay. Thank you everyone for giving your responses. And you have expressed yourself very well, which is really important for all of us. And, when we talk about stress, which is inevitable, we all know that. Do you agree? Type just yes or no. Do we all agree? Yes, great. So when it is inevitable, so does the change. Change in my thought process, alterations and modifications in my thought process, certain techniques to understand. When I identify the cause, I'm able to deal with it. So to understand that process, that interrelated process in more detail, let me share my screen and to begin with the presentation. Just give me a moment. Is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As the topic says, stress management. What else do we manage in life? Do we manage our home? Do we manage our profession? Do we manage our lives? Do we manage our adversaries? Do we manage everything which comes as a parcel of life? Yes, we do. So why can't we manage stress? which is a very vital part of our life. And to say it's everyone knows, we all know, I know, you know, we all know what stress is. But no one really knows what it is. Because most of the times what happens is I'm in so much of pressures that I'm not able to identify what is the stressful situation and what are the stressors behind it. We keep on running on the pace. We are forced to run on that pace that we are not able to manage ourselves better. It is all about managing. When the term stress comes, it is about self-management. If I'm giving a tick on my time, I'm giving a tick on of some unwanted situations which I can have control on, I'll be able to manage myself much, much better. So, before we go further, there are certain glaring, glimpse, थोड़े से हम facts भी समझ ले, क्या हो रहा है और कहाँ तक हमारी percentage बताती हैं that what actually is happening. In our research, it has been conveyed that 1 in 5 Indians will suffer from depression in their lifetime. 42% of private sector employees have general anxiety disorder or depression. 150 million people across India are in need of mental health care interventions. They are in dire need, whether it is short-term or long-term. In any ways, they need it. 46% of private sector employees report extreme stress as a result of their work. Work is the main reason behind stress.
Sumedha, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I could not see your screen. Are you sharing the screen?
Yes.
Screen is not visible.
It's not
visible.
Wait. I asked you, you gave me a green shade that
now it's visible. Now it's visible, ma'am. Now it's visible. Right.
On the, I think, full screen mode, it is not visible.
Probably. Now
is
it's
it fine
visible.
To go like this?
Yes, ma'am. Pradeep sir, I hope it's visible now. Thank you, sir.
Visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Should I proceed?
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Causes of stress among young students. We all know, being teachers, being educators, being professionals, being homemakers, being a mother, we all realize that we are surrounded by our young minds, our students, our kids. They are facing a lot of problems. 87% say their education is a significant source of stress. 82% have said uncertainty about what the next school year will be like causes them stress. There is a new normal. There is a change. Since a couple of years, we all are juggling. And if you talk about COVID, which is again, we don't have any control and we have to adapt we are adapting, we are into it. And life doesn't stop, we have to move on. But if I am under stress because of certain reasons, because of the present scenario, so it's all depends on me that I need to perceive that more rationally. If I don't have any control, I need to alter or modify certain attitudes and belief about it. 67% say the pandemic makes planning for their future feel impossible. That is rational being a kid, but being educators, being teachers, being professionals, we need to intervene. We need to tell them first, we would learn to heal ourselves, then only we'll be able to heal others. If I need to penetrate that rationalized process into my kid, I need to accept it first and implement it. Then only I'll be able to do it. So when overall, research says on stress points that 84% felt more stress and anxiety at work this year than before, would prefer to talk to a robot over their manager about stress at work. This is happening that, again, like I mentioned before, that the problem is that most of the times there is a lack of expression. We are not able to express ourselves rationally and timely. That creates lot of problem inside. And 32% feel the burnout from overwork. 90, are you able to relate to these statistics? Just 2-3 yes, no from the respondents that yes, this is happening. We are in reality check.
Yes, I agree.
Say 93% say their mental health issues at work negatively affect their home life. Neither I'm able to manage my professional life, nor I'm able to manage my home life. I'm stuck, juggling from one part to another, but still reaching nowhere. And what I'm losing is my own mental well-being. Constantly, I'm losing my mental well-being. 34% say lack of work, lack of separation contributes to work stress. 41% lack of separation between work and personal life as impacting well-being, like I said. 95% believe companies should be doing more to support mental health and workforce. Like 95% believe that there should be more and more webinars, seminars, workshops to be conducted, for their mental well-being. We are stuck and we need a rescue, and we all believe in that. And if there is a problem, there is a solution. We all know that. So stress as a definition, if I talk about, it is a basic, tension that arises. What is stress? It is basically a tension which arises when you experience demands from our environment or from inside yourself. Like any stressful event which comes as a real or perceived threat, you feel there is a muscular tension, immediate rush in your body, and you get a feeling of fight or flight response. Your body is designed, God has created us, it has been designed like that we are uniquely designed to handle stress. When presented in a threatening situation, it's a basic survival instinct. So with this basic instinct, what happens when we face fight or flight response? Hota kya hai hamari body mein? Agar if I'm facing something, I need to understand more deeply so that when I'm able to identify, definitely I'll reach to the solution. Adrenaline is secreted from the kidneys. A hormone, which is cortisol, is released, providing burst of energy. The heart suddenly beats faster. Your breath rate and blood pressure increases. Relate when you are in a tension state, when your body is tensed, clenched, full body. Just imagine you are in a stressful situation and you are dealing with it. Or if you're not even trying to deal with it, it's a bodily reaction that you are facing all these, fluctuations. Your blood sugar is released into bloodstream, your hearing and sight. Suddenly, what happens? They are enhanced. You are at alert mode. Digestive system and urine production slow to divert blood to more critical areas like your brain and muscles. Stress. Wapas, we are back to that term stress. When you wake up screaming and you realize, I haven't fallen asleep yet. तो सोई नहीं. मैं उठी हूं, but मैं को लग रहा है कि मैं सोई नहीं. So the reality is the leading cause of stress among those in touch with it. The reality is when you encounter the multiple factors behind it, when you encounter that situation and identify the situation, कि ये stress आया कहाँ से है? when it started, we all put alarm for the next day. हम लोग सब लगाते हैं alarm next day के लिए. We set up an alarm so that we can follow a routine or a schedule for the next day. We, whether working or non-working, we all put an alarm so that we'll be, through with the schedule. So sometimes we know at the back of your mind, that, I have given a buffer time. तो मैंने वैसे ही early set कर दिया था. तो आज थोड़ा सा 10 मिनट snooze हो जाएगा. आज 15 मिनट का हो सकता है. So we snooze it and finally we stop it and get up. But most of the times it happens with me or you. सबके साथ होता है कि वो स्ट्रेस का अलार्म हम बंद ही नहीं कर पाते. वो day 1, day 2, day 3, day 7, day 10, सबके साथ वो 10 days to 1 month कब निकल गया और मैंने आइडेंटिफाई नहीं किया कि where the stress came from. और उस अलार्म को मैं ना स्नूज कर पाई ना बंद कर पाई. So this happens with all of us. There are some physiological reactions and responses to the stimulus, like, your professional stress, your personal stress. When I talk about professional stress, there is inadequate job training, your funding pressures, irregular work schedules, and in today's new normal, there is, I'll be, discussing it, whether it comes to a teacher's profile. So extensive paperwork and personal, when I talk about medical, family, financial, age-related losses. So all comes as a somatic, outcome, which is physiological reactions and responses. There is a palette of stress. On this palette, there are 5 components which, indicates or show up some particular responses. If I talk about behavior, it has different outcomes, physical, different outcomes. So to understand this 5-way outcome tree, stress respondents, in emotional, when you are stressed, automatically the meter goes up to that you are more aggressive, more harsh, more loud, more anxious, more, screaming and shouting. So everything happens related to, there is a rush in the body, and emotional rush, physical rush, mental rush, everywhere it is a rush. And you need to understand when, it is a very high temperature, very hot water, what happens? You cannot touch it. You need to alter it. You need to modify it to have that normal temperature so that you can touch it and use it. So behavioral components, you become more irritable. There is a lot of irritability. I'm not able to identify why I'm stressed, and the stress, the basic reason is from somewhere else, and I am pouring out that, transpiring that energy, that negative energy to somewhere else. So this is somewhere of, you can say that again, the road is blocked when it comes to relationships because we are not able to manage it. So cognitive, I feel more low on self-esteem and confidence. I feel shut down. There's a shutdown feeling, and there is a lot of shattered, confidence, and you feel worthless and hopeless. There is a prominent, feature which comes to us as an individual, as human beings, that, we tend to be more perfectionist. If I'm working as a teacher, I have, multiple hats which I carry on in the school setup. Though I'm just teaching a particular class, but I have multiple hats. We all know that. And, I'm having multiple hats. I try to be in multiple hats, being professional or being at home. So it's sometimes it's very fascinated. It's fascinating that, have multiple hats, and it would be rewarding. People would call me, I am a multitasker. I can do it, and being perfectionist every way. But on a flip side, those hats is giving you a level of stress that I'm ignoring, and I'm ignoring my own mental well-being. So somatic, sweating and dizziness, which is physical reactions. spiritual, when it comes to your own soul, my body is giving different, reactions. I'm just trying to understand that. But even on a soul purpose, my spiritual well-being is, scratched and impacted. I feel loss of purpose, there is no faith, hope, there is no energy to do things, there is no willingness, so there is no self-satisfaction. So all this comes as a cluster of it. If I talk about relation between stress and disease, major cause of death, if you will see the researchers read out, researchers done so far, most important factor behind your cardiac or any life-threatening, diseases is a prominent factor: stress. It's a natural response to danger. And as we have discussed, complex biochemical and hormonal changes. Burnout. If I talk about burnout, it's, stress can be your motivation. Stress can be your spur to move ahead. Eustress and distress, they are different terms. Like we all know that there is a, level of stress that you need to infuse in, it's in yourself, so that you will be able to understand that, I need to get certain things done, so I'm able to do it. But when we talk about burnout, it is my ongoing, chalta ja raha hai, prolonged, lagatar, uch stress 1 level, 2 level, 3 level ignore कर करके मेरे reactions इतने strong हो गए हैं उन situations को लेके that it turns out to be a burnout. And when it turns out to be a burnout, it is way, way difficult to manage it. Because कोई चीज को day 1 पे ठीक करना और day 30th पे ठीक करना या 30th beyond भी मुझे नहीं realize हो रहा, so things would be really drastic for each one of us. And over time, we all know this can result in headaches, asthma, hypertension, ulcers, lower backache. You can relate everything. When I'm under stress and I'm in a prolonged stress, does it come out? Does it reflect in my body or my emotional state or my mental aspect? So keep relating the real picture, because you are the one who are able to judge the picture properly. I can navigate things. I can give you information, knowledge. It's you only who can identify and accept this. Yes, I need to stand out and work for it. So heart disease, stroke, upper respiratory infections, difficulty thinking, there is a brain fog. Most of the times you feel that I'm confused, I'm trapped, koi rasta nazar nahi aa raha. Like, we got responses also that, lot of negative thoughts, depression, anxiety, drug abuse, mental illness, high risk of suicide, addictive disorders, and many more. Stress is a normal part of life. We do accept it. It is a part of life. It happens because when you transit from one stage to another, when I transit from one stage to another, like from childhood to adolescence, each child would face some transitional issues, some adjustment problems, some difficulties. So each phase of transition would give you some difficulties. But it's me who need to understand that there is some maladjustment which is controllable, which is time bound, which I'm able to deal with. But this, some severity which I'm not able to deal with, I need to understand it more deeply. So these are the stages that we keep on, going through, and we face challenges and adversities. So now comes to perceived stressors by a teacher or educator. In new normal, there are new challenges, new possibilities, new resources. If we, try to look that way. So adapting the new normal education, online, offline commitments, my 24/7 unreasonable availability, my virtual class management, imbalance of personal and professional life, my lesson planning, my accountability for students' performance, webinars and seminars, job insecurity. Again, an alarming thing which we, see every day, because, whenever you take up sessions, counseling sessions, or you take up cases, you encounter, especially in past couple of years, there's a walk of job insecurity that, you feel that I don't know, I need to perform much more better and equipped so that I'll be a little secured, because you're always hanging on the insecurity mode. So managing problematic students, which has been always there. So all this as a cluster of a profile, which indicates that teachers, job will give you this platter. So we need to really introspect that my professional role is meaningful and rewarding, or difficult or painful. I need to only, it's me. I'm just, emphasizing a fact again and again that it's me. मैं ही कर सकती हूँ, मैं ही करूँगा, because इसके अलावा और कोई identify नहीं कर सकता है. So please, while going through the presentation, I would request you have a real picture behind you. What is my real present situation? What I go through? I am able to identify or not? Or if I'm able to identify, what can be done, which we'll be sharing in coming slides. So before we switch on to the next part of our presentation, if you can grab 2-3 minutes with you, and a paper or pen beside you, list one thing which stresses you at workplace. I have written one thing to be sure that at least one thing to we'll be able to express. But I'm sure that multiple stresses you can pen down. So if you can do this for 2 minutes, that will really be helpful to understand next, part of our presentation and discussion. So I would request you to just pen down as early as possible, so that you will be able to relate things on the next account. And if you're done with the expression, I would request you just write done in the chat box.
So Shalini ma'am says she feels stressed when she misses the deadline.
Okay.
Gurmeet Singh ji says regarding the job security, he feels stressed. Pradeep sir says certain tasks to complete sometime in less time, like school or our seniors, they give the task and we are not able to meet the target. So we feel overburdened at times, overloaded with the stuff. Burden to work on time, the targets, the short-term targets. We need to do the work and we have other commitments as well. Rajvinder Kaul ma'am says she feels work pressure and then she feels stress. That I agree, Rajvinder ma'am. Anshu ma'am also feels the same. Rajvinder Kaul ma'am feels overloaded. Work deadline is a major concern that I could see. When you are not able to meet the deadlines, so you feel stressed about it. So not meeting the deadlines means you are not able to fulfill the expectations of your boss also.
Very true.
So that also gives you a stress. Kuldeep Kaur ma'am says back-to-back classes. I agree, Kuldeep ma'am. I really understand. Yes. You do not get a break to have a glass of water even. So that time you feel stressed.
Are we expecting a few more responses?
Kanchan ma'am says providing yourself every time. Yes, especially this pandemic time that had made our lives, 24/7, where we need to be available online all the time.
Very
Yes,
true.
yes. I agree, Kanchan ma'am. Providing yourself every time, right, Kanchan ma'am. Please share your opinion. What do you feel? Things that stress you at your workplace?
Should we proceed or should we wait for another minute? Please keep sharing your expression in the chat box.
All the participants are requested to, be active in the session so that better feedback can be given. Ma'am can help us in a better way if we know your, root cause of your stress.
Because in coming discussion and presentation, we have loaded of techniques and things we all can incorporate. Each one of us can take away one or two at least and start implementing, and you'll see the differences on your own. I think we should proceed because the most important part is upcoming, which...
Okay. Shivani Gupta ma'am has just written overloaded and multitasking and boring tasks. So she feels that at times she's overloaded and multitasking as a teacher, as an employer, we need to do that multitask. That also becomes boring. We do not enjoy it, but we need to do. Oh, Kuldeep ma'am, paper correction. That is integral part of our profession. We cannot escape that. Yes, but it becomes boring at times and tedious too. Boring routine. Inadequate. Chundar Kaur ma'am says inadequate work environment. Okay. Work environment is really important to keep us stress-free. Nowadays, Kritika Kohli ma'am says working from home gives stress every time. Going to office is much better. I agree. I agree. Family issues. Swati ma'am says family issues that give stress. Very true.
I think hopefully everyone has tried their best to express whatever they wanted.
Yes, ma'am. Career. Priya Arora feels career is something that gives stress. Yes, stability in your career, having a job of your choice, something that gives you job satisfaction is also at times becomes stressful. Kuldeep ma'am is saying that in online classes, children don't switch on the camera and don't respond. So that also gives stress. We don't know whether they are there behind the screen or not. They don't respond to what the teacher is saying.
Very true.
So, okay, Ishwinder Kaur ma'am says lack of resources at times. I agree.
I think in a nutshell, we have got multiple common or different responses. I think let's proceed, because all these responses will give us some limelight about the stressors in common and what can be done for them. So let's proceed with the next section, which talks about differences, as I have discussed earlier also, between stress and burnout. Stress can be your motivation if you perceive it or modify it, or your burnout is just relying on your behavior. So you need to take charge of your own stress. And 4 A's story is that with these 4 A's, I can still, have that road to, have some differences from, picture A to picture B. So accept, avoid, alter, adapt. But, these are the 4 A's indicators. By the name itself, it indicates that I need to accept certain things. I'll, work upon it in detail in coming slides. Avoid, alter, and adapt. What can we do to prevent this? A stress, my stressors, my stressful situations. What can I do to prevent? Can I prevent it? Yes, it is very much important to understand that, yes, I can prevent it. Fix the fixable. If I tell you that go back to the page or the responses you have just, given, that, for example, it is becoming taxing for me, it is becoming boredom for me, or it is becoming multitasking for me, it is becoming job insecurity in the new normal, or otherwise, or it is becoming family, issues as a stressful, as a stressor. So all these aspects, gives you a picture that, is it fixable? I need to jot it down today, right away, understand in my, mind that क्या ये फिक्सेबल है, क्या मेरी सिचुएशन और जो स्ट्रेस मैं ले रही हूँ वो फिक्स हो सकता है. अगर फिक्स हो सकता है, डेफिनेटली मैं फिक्स करने वाली हूँ. And if it is inevitable, like for example COVID, which is beyond our control, it's just we need to adapt the new normal, and we need to be more positive that it will go away very soon. We'll be in a better position, and we'll be more safer. We'll be more liberal to live our lives the way we wanted. So, protect yourself from the physical effects. Your stress is giving you a danger signal to your body. आज मुझे दिख रहा है, नहीं दिख रहा है, बट वो लॉन्गर रन में मेरे लिए कुछ ना कुछ डिलीवर जरूर कर रहा है. और कल के डिलीवर होने तक, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई एम रीचिंग टू, for example, if I started from 2020, the COVID started, तब से लेके अब तक, अगर इन 2 सालों में मेरा बीपी बहुत शूट अप करने लग गया है, और मैं बहुत ज्यादा परप्लेक्स रहती हूँ, और मैं बहुत ज्यादा confused रहती हूँ, and I'm not able to focus on particular things clearly and rationally, तो वो बीपी शूट अप इज अ डेंजर सिग्नल जो मैं इग्नोर कर रही हूँ. आई नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस टुडे. व्हाट इज फिक्सेबल, व्हाट इज नॉट, and I need to prevent it going to that physical level. Some stressors can be avoided. Do we all agree? Yes, definitely. कुछ तो कर ही सकते हैं. Like if you get stuck in the traffic every day and you are just, telling yourself that I'm done with it, no more traffic blues, I cannot take it. So I alter by changing the route of metro or something. मेरे पास थोड़ी बहुत fixations मैं कर सकती हूँ, alteration कर सकती हूँ. If you get anxious about your carpet getting stained, so I'll alter it by having your tile flooring. So I need to understand कि ये fixable है या alterations possible हैं. Many stressors can be avoided. When you think about stress as something that can affect your health, it may encourage you to take drastic measures. Like I said, that if your BP is fluctuating and on a chart you have noted down that my BP is raising up every week, and this is an alarming sign for me, I need to take some drastic, measures. मेरे को कहीं ना कहीं precautions लेने की अब need मेरे beyond जा रही है. Many are questioning whether having it all is worth the effort. Most of the time we feel that getting rid of a particular situation and changing the situation by taking drastic measures sometimes give consequence of more stress. Like for example, changing the job. If you feel that if I'll go from A organization to B organization, I'll be more relaxed, I'll be more comfortable, I'll have a good time working, I'll have no ifs and buts in my story, then I think most of the times we are not able to judge it properly. So it all depends that I need to weigh it properly, that only changing the situation will give me solutions. So can you simplify it? You can't avoid life. Life is filled with unpredictable ups and downs, and that promotes stress. One suggestion is to change your interpretation. Like we have been talking about multitasking, boredom, or job insecurity, or juggling with the students responses over the online classes, a lot of things which are happening. So I need to just shift the paradigm from one to another to make myself more relaxed. Instead of getting stressed about it, I need to understand that my own interpretation is the thumb rule for me. So for example, you are driving on a bus highway and someone cuts you off, okay, right in front of you, and then slows down. How do you interpret the situation? Can anybody, I would just request, because it should be interactive, because if you happen to have this situation with you, what is your immediate spontaneous interpretation of this situation? Anyone to, I would appreciate. Hyper.
Rudely reply.
Irritate. Very good. Lovely responses.
Hyper. You can raise your hand. We can give you a chance to unmute yourself, and if you want to say something.
Yes, maybe you will be irritated. Valid response. Okay. Let me analyze it. If you said I would probably yell idiot at the top of my lungs, and I would be irritated and likely have negative thoughts about the driver. Driver doesn't have sense to drive on the road. Something like that, which comes as a beep in your mind and rush in the body. Then you have just initiated the flight or fight response. What has happened? This fighting spirit has come up and your heart is beating faster. The driver is not getting anything. He doesn't bother. He doesn't have an impact or effect on it. कुछ भी उसको फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा. And your heart is beating faster. sugar is filling up in the veins, and in the next several hours, what will happen? For after this moment, after this rush in the body, your immune system will function a little less efficiently. And we all say, COVID has taught us one thing: our immunity should be really good. Do we agree? We should have immunity boosters. But rather than taking immunity boosters, if I'm able to manage myself more rationally, practically, and positively, my immune system is still working good. So just analyze this prominent picture or situation and understand that it has given a negative impact only on your psyche and body, nobody else, not that driver. So positive interpretation, if we change the paradigm and we understand that person must not have been paying attention, and we all make mistakes. I'll be glad when I can pass, but it's no big deal. I am glad that I'm not in a hurry. Then you are stopping the stress response before it starts. I have given a red signal to my stressor. No entry. I'm not letting you in. आज आपको इस वेबिनार में एंट्री नहीं मिल रही है. क्यों? क्योंकि रेड अलर्ट है. So, to stay positive, it may help to consider that we all are human and flawed. I accept we do have flaws. We do have some not so good pointers where we fall. Try to think of adults. Do we believe that we all are grown up, adults from a child? And we are less likely to judge and feel angry when a child makes a mistake. Why? Because child, he's so innocent. उससे तो गलती हो जाती है, कोई बात नहीं. अरे, he is a 30-year-old man. He cannot make mistake. And I won't forgive him ever. This happens with us because, again, we are not rationalizing it. We are interpreting it to that negative level that interpretation is not from this way to that way. Consider that it is possible that you don't have all the information to make a decision about a person or situation. Like, for example, very important situation that happens in a normal scenario, that what if you found out that the person who cut you off in the traffic was rushing to the hospital to visit his mother, and he just received a beep of message. It is possible that his mother had just passed away or in a critical position. He was slowing down because he was distracted by the news. Now, how does this change your interpretation? When you know the real picture or behind the scene picture, you are more able to rationalize the interpretation. But we fall to interpret it that way because we let that stressor get in. We give that entry to the stressor. Alterations in perception or self-help. Tell yourself that it may not be a bad thing, that this bad thing is happening right now. At the very least, you can learn something from the experience that can help you or others. If I'm bored or I'm doing multitasking or I'm fixed with certain deliverables, deadlines, it's thus that it's a chosen profession. It is my own profession. There are some difficult things which I need to manage according to the present scenario. It is time bound. It will be better. And I need to tell myself that COVID has given us one more learning, that life doesn't stop and we are being so positively adaptive to it. It's okay. Time will change. It is going to change. My own perception and interpretation would give me a better feeling. Nothing else can give. My own alterations would give me that, no to that stressor and no way to physical problems further. the situation may have prevented you or someone else from having to deal with one that even worse. You will never know how many people you have cut off may have saved you from being into a life-threatening situations. So always try to perceive it more positively. Like we all have taken, vaccines. Okay. So there is a very good way that you have your stress vaccine before you encountered, a situation. If you encounter certain situations, if you prepare yourself potentially that, some stressors, stressful events which are upcoming. So I'm prepared. Like, for example, you have to, give some information to your immediate boss or superior. So you need to have that, mindset that, it might cause a conflict. It might be some differences in the, discussion. So I need to prepare myself more clearly that, talking that thing with your spouse or, your colleague or in front of the camera, so that you are able to ease yourself that this is going to happen and I'm prepared for it. So mental preparation will also help you to the best. Protect yourself, whether it is a stressor that can change or one cannot change. It is imperative that you practice techniques. There is no thing that without practicing you will get the results. So whether it is fixable or not, any stressor, you need to practice certain techniques to prevent it, so that if there is a roadblock, you will not get a jerk. You will go through the pace more smoothly. आप आराम से निकलने के लिए अपने mental preparation कर रहे हो. Several techniques can be used to decrease your body's response to stress. The more you, if I say that, somebody is learning driving and it's a day one driving thing, and before that, if you note down your pulse rate before and after every day for 21 days, you notice, and on 21st 21st day आपको क्या दिखेगा कि there is a decline in the rate, the tendency and the frequency. So you will see that, now I'm more comfortable. On day one, there is a lot of rush in the body, lot of stress, lot of, fluctuation and, muscular tension. And day third, day fourth, simultaneously, I'll become more comfortable. So is with your stress techniques practices. So as a preventive measures. So I would like to ask the host if we do have, 3-4 minutes to conduct this demo on this activity.
Yes, ma'am, we can.
So I would request everyone, I'll give you a glimpse or as a small demo of this live body scan activity. We call it as progressive muscle relaxation. I know you must have heard of it or you must have practiced it, but this is for sure that if you will practice it at least for 21 days, and 21 days will give you a feeling that yes, it is worth doing at least once a day. And this will give you a practice that you can prevent certain stressors. You can help yourself to heal better and to manage yourself better. So wherever you are seated, we prefer whether on a sitting position or lying down, like we all are sitting. So on a chair, just sit with a relaxed mode, and it is going to scan my body that what happens when I encounter any stressful situation. So I'm going to have both ways feeling that in stressful situation and in composed state, what happens? How do I feel? And how does it help? So to start with your feet, I would say just curl your toes downwards and clench your feet tightly, as tightly you can. Put a pressure, the pressure you feel while stressful situation, the pressure which you're not able to deal, not able to manage, the pressure which is giving you a very discomfortable feeling, irritability, lot of muscular tension. You can feel the pressure and just one more pitch of pressure, as much as you can. Tighten your feet, curl down your toes. Just deeply, calmly close your eyes and release the tension, coming back to the normal state slowly and slowly. You are able to release the tension. Exhale slowly with open mouth and feel the pressure is going out. You are coming back to that normal, comfortable feeling. No more tension, no more pain, no more discomfort, no more anxiety, no more fear, no more stress. Now, release and come to your fist. Clench your fist, tighten your fist. The bloodstream you feel while you are in a stressful situation. Tighten the muscle as much as you can. Feel the pressure you face in day-to-day life when you encounter, when you hit the road of stress. No solutions, no remedies. I'm trapped. What to do? Fixed. Feel the pressure. Inhale and feel the pressure. The count of 10 to 1, slowly exhaling from open mouth. One finger open, slowly, slowly. Second, third, fourth, thumb. Release. Exhale and release. Exhale and release. Just release. It's me who has done it. I can do it. I can shift from the stressful situation to a calm, composed, peaceful, mindful situation. Relax. Though there are time constraints, otherwise we would have gone for full body scan. But I think this is the glimpse for you that how to do it, particularly on each body part, and to release. And this is really effective, tested and, tried every time with the people around. And they have given so good positive responses after doing this scanning every day, at least once a day. And I would request each one of you to try it out, and you would really see the changes, positive changes in your body and mental well-being. So for 21 days at least, carry it on, because I'll be having more handy tips and tools for you. So I would just continue with the discussion. Personal meaning, if I talk about, meaning is, after doing the scanning, you need to understand no matter what is going on in your life, you can hang on to the things that really matter to you. You need to chart it down, that what matters to me, and it is my belief and attitude. The transit in my belief and attitude will change and make the difference. And there are elements and people and views that cannot, no matter what, be taken from you. So you need to understand what are my priorities and what are my risk factors I need to at least balance and say no. Learn to say no when the stressor, when we say that, if you need to be more calm and composed, you need to learn and say timely that no, this is my boundary and this is my limitation. So same way, you have to keep on telling the stressor that no, there is no entry and I'm not letting you in because I know how to help myself. So first, heal yourself. We need to heal ourselves. Agar mujhe healing pata hai apni, tabhi mein I would be able to help others. So there are so many handy tools on daily basis. My stress mantras, which I need to follow, like we have been talking about exercise, meditation, PMR, like we have given a demo on stretching. Anyone can do anywhere, while sitting on a chair, on the desk, or while standing in the kitchen cooking. Anywhere you can do little bit of stretching. Exercise, if I talk about, they release endorphins. When we talk about happy hormones, mujhe happy hone ke liye kuch happy hormones bhi to chahiye body mein. So be mobile, little bit of whatever suits you, whatever suits your schedule, you need to follow it. Easy and handy, anywhere home. Like I said, the desk require only positive intention. If I'm willing to do it, I'll be able to do it. So ultimately, the road starts from me and ends to me. So H2O therapy, this has been reviewed. I have reviewed it, so many times that, our body is comprised of 70% water. So when you are in extreme stress, sometimes you must have also experienced it, that agar aap kabhi bhi bahut thake hain aur aap ek jaake agar as per the weather conditions jaake ek shower le lete hain, so you feel relaxed, energetic, calm, composed, aapko lagta hai ki bilkul I'm back to my normal pace. So this works. agar aap shower nahi le sakte, aap ek glass pani pee lijiye, aap khud dekhenge immediate हमारा क्या है, सिर्फ एक रिस्पॉन्स और रिएक्शन में एक बहुत बड़ी थिन लाइन है, ठीक है. वो हम कब शिफ्ट कर जाते हैं रिस्पॉन्स से रिएक्शन में, हमें खुद पता नहीं लगता. तो वो थिन लाइन को क्रॉस करे बगैर, इफ यू grab a glass of water, ठीक है, if it situation permits you, आप जाके शावर ले सकते हैं. अगर और कुछ नहीं कर सकते, फेस और फीट को वॉश कर सकते हैं. दिस गिव्स यू अल्टीमेट रिलैक्सेशन. यू गेट अ पॉज बटन, ठीक है. सो वो रिस्पॉन्स से रिएक्शन तक पहुंचने में आपने इमीडिएट अपने आप को रेस्क्यू कर लिया एंड थिंग्स आर अंडर कंट्रोल. And if you keep a track by journalizing it, like writing down, ठीक है, the more I'll write, the more I'll express. मैंने Monday to Saturday में, for example, मुझको बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं था. I'm fixed with my assignments. I don't have a breathing space. I agree with you. But on Sunday evening or Saturday night, if I sit down just for 5 minutes, if I pen down that, in this past week, 5 stressors tried to came in, or I, had 5 stressful situations. So what did I do? What was the outcome? So itna hi, if I write down weekly basis, that helps me to move ahead accordingly. So that 5 ki jagah next week I can have at least 3, or next 2. So gradually I'll be more equipped to handle it. So I think time doesn't permit, I would have discussed this, but do you think that we talk to self? हम अपने से बात करते हैं? सिंपल yes no डाल दो फटाफट चैट बॉक्स में. थैंक यू. Do we talk to self?
Yes, all of them are saying yes.
Yes. So that's why I have written, yes, precisely, consciously और unconsciously हमारा back end door हमेशा busy रहता है. तो वो मैजिकल और सीक्रेटिव पॉइंट क्या है कि जो हमारे थॉट्स हैं वो इतने पावरफुल हैं, वो ही रन करते हैं हमारी बॉडी को, और हम उन थॉट्स को बिल्कुल वेटेज नहीं देते. अरे आ गया था थॉट, ठीक है, किचन में आई वाज कुकिंग और वो क्या कुक कर रही हूँ ये नहीं पता, बट मुझे पता है बिकॉज आई एम वेरी एक्सपीरियंस, मुझे पता है दैट आई एम मेकिंग दाल एंड आई नो हाउ टू डू तड़का ऑफ इट. तो मुझे पता है कि मैं वो कर रही हूँ, बट बैक एंड डोर पे मेरा इतना कुछ चल रहा है. दिस असाइनमेंट इज लेफ्ट एंड दिस नीड्स टू बी डिलीवर्ड एंड माय चाइल्ड इज इन दिस mental state and fixed with the homework and all, so far. ऐसे so far and so on तो बहुत stories चलेंगी, but जो magical और secretive point है, the thought is so powerful कि आप चाहो या ना चाहो, whether you accept it or not, whether you like it or not, it creates such wonderful impacts, whether negative or positive, on our mental, emotional, physical aspects. If I have a transition, I have interpreted certain things positively, definitely the outlook would be changed. I am not worthy. I cannot handle it. This simple liner can be so devastating for any one of us, which is really hidden, but it is very much vital. So we need to understand that your self-talk is so much important, that the moment I get that I cannot do it, I'm not worthy, all negative components of my personality traits which I'm facing and handling, so I need to understand that my thought will process everything. So it's me again who can make it possible, and changes will give you good results and better results in time to come. So align and shift your one lens to another, and we are happily through it. अगर हम एक बार प्रैक्टिस कर लें कि मुझे सिर्फ उस लेंस को थोड़ा सा चेंज करना है, we are through with it, and हमें पता भी नहीं लगता, हो जाता है. और कहीं ना कहीं हम अगर एक दो बार एक्सपीरियंस किया होता है तो हम सबको पता होता है, बट वो इग्नोर हो रहा है ये हमें नहीं पता. So many stressors, unwanted roadblocks can be prevented drastically. And who is at the profit? Profit किसको मिल रहा है? My mental, emotional, physical well-being, it matters as it's worth as when I can manage multiple profiles. मैं अपना बैंक अकाउंट मैनेज कर सकती हूँ, मैं अपना घर मैनेज कर सकती हूँ, मैं अपना प्रोफेशन मैनेज कर सकती हूँ, मैं ऐसी एडवर्सरीज भी मैनेज करती आई हूँ और कर रही हूँ, तो मैं अपना स्ट्रेस मैनेज नहीं कर सकती, which is a silent killer. I can, and this I can will make a difference in your life. Believe me, it will make a difference. So a few techniques I'll tell you, like when you are really stressed, really, like we have done PMR demo, and like you can take this position and when you're really stressed and nothing is, it's a brain fog. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. This tap will give a spur in your bloodstream and blood circulation, and which gives some kind of activation so that you are positively through. So these small tips and tricks will help you for immediate rescue of the situation. Very important is stress paper catharsis. Write down whatever is troubling you. It works wonders. When you have nothing to be done around, and just calmly write down anything or everything and just throw it in the trash. Why? Because it is not worth to keep it as treasure. So try this. Time is again very important key to success, or equally responsible to burnout. Time. Most of the responses you gave had a clear back-end story that you need to be more prominent and clear about your time management, which has again, prominent cluster, which can be discussed in further webinars in detail, because time is something which gives you a lot of stress, because sometimes we are not able to judge and manage the situation, that what is my on priority list or otherwise. So time is again a very important key. If nothing works, कुछ काम नहीं कर रहा, shut down, pause button, and take a webinar, and it will give you a at least break, which is if the stressor is uncontrollable and you're not able to fight with it right away, take a webinar. So this the one trick we can use it being individual. हम अपने लिए इतना तो कर ही सकते हैं, और हम इतना कर सकते हैं क्योंकि हमें अपने आप को forgive करना ही होगा. Sorry. क्योंकि अगर हम forgive करना नहीं सीखेंगे, if we'll be harsh on ourselves, so there'll be a never-ending road to our physical problems. So this can be, a stand back position, remove yourself from the stressful situation, take a deep breath, count to 5, and think about the choice the best for you. This is the immediate, rescue procedure, procedure for you कि at least मुझे वो encounter होने के बाद थोड़ा help करने का मुझे समझ आए that sometimes I can use A technique or B technique, but I need to keep on doing certain things to prevent myself from the major stressor. So people will be, unreasonable, unkind, or they'll be sometimes if you are too honest and you feel you are being cheated, or many other emotional turmoil, situations we go through. So you have to just do it anyway, the way you are doing, because it is between you and your soulful connection, God, and it's for you and your mental well-being. So I hope any one pointer would have hit you as your remedial procedure or takeaway to help you in a healing process or journey which is upcoming would be really positive. I wish it would be positive and better for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sumedha ma'am, for such a wonderful and insightful session. Even though some of our teachers and participants, they were a little bit, for their other commitments, they were restless about the session, but it was really fruitful. The tips that you gave were really handy and, can be used in our lives as well, which gives us, reduce our stress. Otherwise, stress is there everywhere.
Yes, very true.
So thank you very much for sparing time from your busy schedule and having such a wonderful, insightful session with us. Dear all, I'm sharing the feedback form there in the chat box. You can click on the form and give your feedback. And our certificates will be issued within 8 to 10 working days. So it was really wonderful, Sumedha ma'am. We will have more sessions with you to have more tracks. Vinatsu sir is actually sharing the same feedback in the chat box as well. Thank you for your